Coming up in today's episode, we have Kelsey Coles from Swindon.
I get so many people being like, oh my God, you're a girl. Like, it's lovely to see.
A lot more employers who are wanting to take on women really need to consider that.
But I just wasn't liking it. I thought that was what I wanted to do.
Hello, this is the ScaffoldHERs podcast, the podcast where a female scaffolder interviews other female scaffolders for research purposes to see what we can learn from real females working hands-on in the scaffolding industry from a variety of backgrounds and experience, to see what we can maybe change or enhance to create a better future in scaffolding for all future generations. I'm your host, Vicky Welsh, 17 years in the industry, the first female to get a gold card, the first British female scaffolder to work offshore, and now the first female to create a podcast with female scaffolders. And disclaimer here that everything expressed in this podcast is just personal experiences, opinions that everyone is entitled to. There is no offence intended. And in order to keep it natural and authentic, there's probably going to be a lot of swearing and banter, which I think some people will look forward to the most. And of course, we appreciate any feedback. All opinions are welcome. Everyone is entitled to an opinion. So please just drop a comment. And yeah, I hope you enjoy the podcast. Let us know.
Welcome to the first episode of ScaffoldHERs podcast. Sorry, the second episode, because the first one was me, but this is the first guest, Kelsey.
Thank you.
We are complete novices at this. So bear with us. First time sitting here doing this together. First time meeting today. We've had a lovely little chat and catch up.
Yeah.
So now it's time to share a few bits of that with you. So starting with, Kelsey, tell us about yourself. What's your scaffolding career up to now?
So I went to college and I was a beautician, and I didn't really like that. It was just a very bitchy environment, all the females at college and that, and it was just very hateful. And then I worked at JD for a little bit, just as a Christmas thing. Didn't really like that. And then I was speaking to my dad, just being I'm just not really happy where I'm at with college and everything. And he was like, why don't you come work for me for a bit? And been stuck with me ever since, pretty much. And he put me on my course, so I did my part 1. Yeah.
So your dad owns Coles Scaffolding, and Mum, right? Yeah. Thinking that. And how old are you then?
I started working with him when I was 16.
Right.
Yeah.
And how old are you now?
I'm 20. So.
Oh, you've been doing it a little while.
Yeah. Yeah. 4
so
years.
It's a family business. So. What do you think you would have been doing by now if you weren't doing scaffolding then? What were you doing at college?
Well, I did beauty, so that's massaging, nails, it's a bit of everything, so you learn. But I just wasn't liking it. I thought that was what I wanted to do, but it just wasn't for me when I went to college. And I didn't think scaffolding would be for me, but I liked it, so been stuck with it.
What do you think it is that kind of made you stick scaffolding then?
I just love the environment. It's so just friendly, and it's a good laugh, and it's just nice. You get to see loads of different things. It's just every day.
Do you find the lads are less bitchy than women, or?
Yeah, definitely. Don't get me wrong, they do act like girls sometimes. Do you not?
No, I think scaffolders are the biggest bitch, especially in the construction industry. Wow.
Maybe I'm just lucky with my gang.
Yeah, I don't want to throw shade on them or negativity. I've just been totally bigging them up on mine as well, podcast saying how great they are. But
don't get me wrong, they can act like girls sometimes.
They can be quite bitchy, yeah. They're talking about other scaffs and how bad other scaffolding is.
Yeah.
But it's nice to think that you've kind of had that contrast.
Yeah.
Do you know that you've worked in something that is typically, a woman's, what we call a woman's job, a woman's industry, to then flip it and come into scaffolding. Is amazing.
Yeah, and it's just the difference. You would think the girly thing would have been a lot nicer environment for me, but it wasn't. Where
it's not for everyone, is it?
Yeah, exactly.
So, is it have you got your part 1 now?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So are you going for your part 2?
I do want to eventually. It's just the confidence thing. I don't know, it's just I always second guess myself, and I'm am I good at that, or am I strong enough? It's all, and I've got the fear of heights, so that brings me down, because I'm I'm not as good because I'm scared of this, and but it's just I want to, but it's just whether I'm actually gonna go and pass and stuff.
Well, if you're scared of heights, you must have well surpassed a lot of your fears by now.
Yeah. It is hard, don't get me wrong, my legs do shake and stuff, but it's not too bad. It just depends on the job and everything. And then if it's a boarded lift and everything's safe, you're good, but it's a bit different.
Yeah, and obviously you have you clipped on.
Yeah.
Just what a difference in confidence it gives you.
Yeah.
So are you are you working with a regular squad, or do you work with different people since it's your dad's company? Or
to be honest, like when I first joined, I stuck with my dad because I was too scared to go off with the lads and everything. But that was because I was a bit younger. But now, like, there's different gangs, but you kind of stay with your same gang here and there, unless you switch up or, like, you know, you meet up with the other gang sort of thing. But yeah, it's mainly like my set gang, which is like me, my dad, a guy called Jammer and Bobby, which we kind of all work together, but sometimes it swaps out and ranges between a few other people. But it's nice because obviously you're not stuck having the same conversations with the same people every day. It's nice to have a little switch up to see different people at work and have a new conversation.
Do you just like work together and do the same things all the time, or are you getting to have a go at everything? Like, are you still, you know, because as I was explaining earlier, so we tend to work offshore in a squad of 3. Like, you do 2 days on and then a day labouring. So like we'll switch around. Do you do similar, or?
Well, I like, my confidence isn't that much, so I let the lads kind of do what they want to do sort of thing, because they are a lot more skilled than me. But like we do, like the main ganger of like our gang, he will let us like do like little bits and everything what we're comfortable with.
Got to have a little shot of everything, haven't you? Like to learn. Yeah. But it's nice. I think it's really important for development to work with the same people for like a set amount of time. Like, I always found that when I'm dotting around people all the time, like, you see, you second guess yourself, don't you?
Yeah.
Because there's always someone telling you a different way to do it. And sometimes it's quite confusing when you're working with different people all the time, because they contradict each other. So although you're going to college and like learning things, you never really do it exactly how you've learned in college, because everyone's got their own different way. So when you're swapping around in squads, it can be quite confusing. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? And then you do end up second guessing yourself. But I think like if you're sticking with the same squad for a while, it'll probably help your development massively. Yeah. And just keep breaking past your fears, because there's always something good comes at the other end of it. And like, you'll never know unless you try something. Yeah. But what was kind of like, I know like it's a bit personal, but growing up, what was life like for you? Because like you say, you've tried this sort of beauty industry and then you've ended up in this industry. You know, what were you like as a kid growing up? Do you think there's any signs of you sort of,
I don't know,
a bit more tomboyish or anything like that?
I was told I was a bit of like a tomboy growing up. I guess, but that's because like my mum and my dad separated quite young, so like my dad being a single parent when he was having me, I guess I did tend to be a bit more like boyish, because my dad was like looking after me and that.
You grew up with your dad then?
So 1 week I'd be at my dad's and 1 week I'd be at my mum's sort of thing, until I grew up and like was kind of just like, I'll stay at my mum's and just see my dad when I see him sort of thing. But yeah, so like when I would be at my dad's, my dad would dress me a bit more like tomboyish, and like I'd be in like a pink Lacoste tracksuit because my dad would like dress me up in it, and my mum would be like, what's she wearing sort of thing. But yeah, so I guess I've always like leaned to a bit more of like a tomboy side.
Yeah, but what did you always want to be when you grew up?
I don't know. I didn't really have a set goal. Like, I know some people are like, oh, I want to be that when I'm up, but I didn't really know. I don't.
Yeah. Some people don't, do they? And there's a lot of pressure, isn't there, for especially teenagers when you hit that age? Is it like year 10 or something? I don't know what the schools are like down here, but you hit that age where you're about to go into your GCSEs and you've got to pick a subject where like that's your expertise, that's what you want to, that's the route you want to go down, and it's far too soon. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Because like you said, well, I've done the same. I went to college because I wanted to work in the film industry. Yeah. I wanted to be like a writer, an actress. So I pursued that at college, but it just wasn't for me. You know, I was like, right, I want to work, I want to earn money, I don't want to be doing this. And then eventually when I started scaffolding, it felt like it just fit. So I just think there's too much pressure too young, and I think it's never too late to start scaffolding. You know,
they also don't give that as an option in school. Like, I didn't know what scaffolding was. No, the only one they do is, I think it's bricklaying and something else, because like in Swindon, I know you can go college for it, like here, like a certain college, but you like got to go like Western Supermare and other places like that for scaffolding. Like, there isn't many things like local for it, and where it's not really spoken about in school, you don't really think of it as an option.
Well, if it wasn't in your family, it's probably something you wouldn't have thought of.
I would have never done it. I generally wouldn't have done it because I wouldn't have known what it was.
It's mad how many people do just fall into it, isn't it? Like, just like for a bit of money, or a friend said, "You want to come and help out?" Like, it's not, like you say, it's not really kind of pushed as a decent job, is it? No. And you kind of always think that it's a dead end job, but it's not. I mean, look at your dad, he owns a business now,
Yeah.
do you know what I mean?
This podcast wouldn't be possible without my two amazing sponsors, Morix, a specialist business consultancy founded by Des Moore. With more than 50 years of hands-on experience in scaffolding and construction, Des helps construction businesses strengthen the leadership, improve operations, drive sustainable growth, and make better strategic decisions. Having worked his way from labourer to CEO of a £100 million construction business, Des brings practical, straight-talking advice through consultancy, mentoring, non-executive director support and leadership training, helping the next generation of construction leaders build stronger, more successful businesses. He couldn't be a better fit for this podcast. We're also proudly sponsored by SIMIAN, which is one of the UK's leading construction and scaffolding safety specialists. They were established in 2005. They provide expert training and consultancy to business across the industry, always guided by their values of safe, sound and secure. I've completed my advanced training with SIMIAN myself and had fantastic experience, and so have many of the other women in the industry that I've spoken to so far. If you're looking for high quality professional training, SIMIAN is a name that you can definitely trust. This podcast is also working closely with WISA, which is the Women in Scaffolding Association, in which I'm now an ambassador and mentor for. Please do check them out when you get a chance.
What would you say is kind of like your least favourite part of scaffolding? What pisses you off the most?
I don't know.
This is like, we're going to get on it here.
There's just like loads of things, isn't there? Like there's like
any job really.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
Loads of things, but
like you get the rubbish jobs where there's bad access, and then you get like stuff like, I hate brick guards. They really annoy me. They are so
I used to hate them as well. Luckily, I've not touched one in about 15 years.
My dad, he's got a few different types of brick guards, but there's these ones. They're like coat hang. They are so annoying.
They're metal.
No, they're not metal. These ones, all the ones he's got are plastic, but these ones are just annoying because they're just so fiddly and annoying. So
together, I'm not doing it.
They're just a pain. They really annoy me. But yeah, I don't like bugs. That's annoying. Spiders in the summer.
It must be a nightmare.
Yeah.
God, yeah, I don't miss that. So is it mainly street work you do?
Yeah, mainly. Yeah. We do a few sites, but not often. Yeah. Like there's some here and there, but
but you've got the public to deal with then as well, haven't you?
Yeah.
How do you find that?
It's not too bad. Obviously you get people that are like funny and they like forget we've all got a job to do, but it's just like you just kind of got to grit your teeth, ain't ya? Like can't be rude, so you just got to kind of listen, but you ain't got to take it in, have ya? So
you meet some characters as well though, don't you?
Definitely. Yeah, we had one person, it was like, I think she was 80 or something, she was just walking past and we were scaffolding and she was like, it's my birthday, you got to sing to me. So we all started singing to her.
Class,
you just meet some people just at the jobs and like walking past and stuff, and I get so many people being like, oh my god, you're a like girl, like it's lovely to see, and I love that, like especially from like older women saying it, because obviously in their time
it wouldn't have been an option.
Exactly, so it's really nice to hear when they're like, it's incredible.
Nice, it's like opportunities that they never had, and it's nice to put that in perspective as well sometimes, isn't it?
Yeah,
makes you feel a bit like privileged, really.
Yeah,
you know, and I do feel like that a lot of the time as well, and I think it needs spoke about more. You know, sometimes you feel a bit not ashamed, but you have this little sort of thingy, you know, being pointed out that you're a one, you just want to fit in, don't you? You just kind of want to fit in at the same time, but then there is also that little bit of pride, and it's okay to be proud of it.
Yeah,
you know, because like I say, 50 years ago, even just 20 years ago to be fair, when I first started, like nearly 20 years ago, you know, it was completely different, and it was a lot of negative feedback and a lot of like laughing at it and, you know, what the hell are you doing? And I think like now in like our generation, it is positive feedback and people like to see it.
It is lovely, but don't get me wrong, you do get the negative as well, like from social media and stuff, because obviously I started that account and some people are just not very nice.
Is that TikTok?
Yeah, I started when my friend was working with us. She kind of inspired me to do this a little bit, like start up an account, because I had been doing it for a while, and we started it up together, and you just get the people being so negative, being like, carry more, or oh, you're not carrying, let's see you flick a lot, and it's like, just be impressed that there's a girl doing it. Like, why are you trying to make it like more than it is?
It's mad because it's just the keyboard. Yeah. It's just the keyboard warriors, and like to your face, they'd be completely different. Yeah, they really would. I can't believe it's still like that. I got a lot of that years ago on Facebook, but I kind of thought it had fizzled out. But it's sad. Yeah, it's really, really sad.
But that's why women don't go into it, because you
Yeah.
see all that and it's like, what's the point?
Yeah, that's right. Like if you were a young lass just starting and then looked at your TikTok and seen all the negative comments, it's probably going to put you off, isn't it?
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, you've got like such a good career ahead of you. It's just mental. Why would you want to stop a woman from pursuing, you know, providing for herself and giving herself a good life?
It's silly.
You know, or, like even not just on your own. Obviously, like I'm on my own, but like you partner up with someone, like, you know, bringing that amount of money into the household, because it is a well-paid industry. Do you know what I mean?
It's funny you say that. I posted a TikTok about it the other day, and it was like, you can either appreciate like a busy woman or babysit a broke one, which is so true, isn't it? Like, because you can either appreciate a person trying to work and earn their money, or babysit someone that don't want to work and you bring home the bread.
But the same people commenting will complain about women being sponges and, you know what I mean, and being useless, or just like them having to be the provider. They've just got to be in the bonnet, haven't they?
That you're making the teas, like just the silly comments, but
nothing better to do.
Yeah.
But hopefully, you know, that fizzles out. I think it will.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes as well, it's just people projecting, isn't it? Just projecting their insecurity.
Yeah.
Usually people are insecure, and they can't see like everything else that you're doing. It's mental, man. You do get them. I hate them.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you know, you've just got to appreciate that they've only at a certain level in their own life, and that's the only place they can meet you at. I'm now quite like confident to just ignore them comments, because I know what I'm capable of. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Everyone's got to start somewhere as well.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean? There would have been a time when they were only carrying so much or doing so much. It's mental.
Yeah, but they forget about that.
Yeah.
But it's all right.
Yeah. But who's winning?
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Who's happier? Because you know what I mean? If you're happy, you're not going to comment on people's stuff, are you? You're not going to try and put like a young woman down who is literally out there earning for herself, working fucking hard.
Yeah, there's no point.
You just wouldn't. Yeah, so when we're kind of on about like what you enjoy doing, what you don't like doing and stuff, what would you say are your biggest challenges that you would feel, and obviously just your opinion of self-judging, is a gender-related challenge, and that can be mental or physical? What would you say?
Well, I would say for mental, it's always like comparing yourself to the males and being like, oh, I'm not strong enough, or like, oh, how comes they can do that and I can't, sort of thing. With that does really get me down, because I'm just like, oh, especially because I said to you earlier, like before we did this, like I can't do a 21 yet, and it does get me down because I see some of the younger like labourer lads like being able to start doing it, and I'm just like, I can't get it, like so that does get me down because my physical strength and stuff. And then, which I spoke to you about also, like with men, like I know they're trying to be helpful, but sometimes they try to be a bit too helpful and do the job for you, and it's like, I appreciate you're trying to help, but I've got to learn, and I'm not going to learn if you're doing it for me. So that can be quite a challenge.
I experience that quite a lot as well, even though, you know, I've been doing it a hell of a lot longer. I think it's like you said, they're not trying to condescend you. These people aren't like trying to make you feel like a divvy or like you're thick. They're just so used to, it's like a gentlemanly thing, isn't it? Yeah. And it's like, and it's nice. And I come away sometimes and I think, yeah, it's really nice. But sometimes what I worry is they'll come away, they'll do that, they'll jump in. And I'm like, right, I'll let you then, because I don't want to cause an argument. But then it's like after a week of working with them, they're like, oh, I do fucking everything for her.
Yeah, you don't want
to come back on your face. Do you know what I mean? That's what pisses me off the most. It's when someone just constantly jumps in, dominates, you know, especially like an alpha male, and they want to go because like they just want it done quicker, and they'll jump in. But then and I don't mind. I think, right, we can work together. I'm quite a chameleon like that. I can just kind of read who I'm working with, how do they work, and I'll kind of flex to them. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? That can be a superpower and a weakness at the same time, because then you end up second guessing everything you come up with, everything you want to do. Yeah. And all of your ideas, you kind of lose that little bit centre of yourself. Yeah, because then you're like, am I doing that right? Or am I being, and then as soon as the responsibility's on you, it's like, fuck. Yeah. You know, so I totally get it. But like I say, you're just trying to blend in with the squad. Yeah. And it's just, it's the opinion. Sometimes I'll get anxious a little bit and I'll think like, are they thinking that I can't do that? Yeah. You know, because I can. And that it's such a weird, awkward place to be, because you don't want to cause an argument with someone. How do you say to someone, I really appreciate you helping? Well, I have actually had to say that a couple of times to people. Yeah. And I think your communication and how you approach it is the best is the best way, but it's hard, like, because it might come out as a snap. Sometimes I get quite snappy with people, try and hold it in, and then all of a sudden they'll go to do something and I'll go, for fuck's sake, I was going to do that, like, you know, and it'll come out. So I think just being able to talk to your squad, like, best thing I've learned really, if you feel something coming up and arising in you, like a discomfort like that, you've just got to fucking tell them straight away. But, you know, not on the job, do it after, you know, when you're sitting having a cuppa or something, and you know, it's awkward as fuck, but it's like ripping the plaster off. You do it the once, and then at least if they do it continuously, you've pulled them. They can't say to you, look, hey, I'm doing everything for you, I'm carrying you, because you've told them, look, I want to do it, I'm keen as custard, I can do it. Do you know what I mean? So I totally get it. The mental side is definitely, I mean, the 21s, right, Kelsey, we don't use them offshore. And a lot of industries don't use them anymore. We were talking about this with your dad, saying, like, they're handy for street work. Because you don't need to top out for your handrails and stuff. But really, really topping out with a 21 is pretty dangerous. And I did get to the point where I could stand them up, but it took fucking months, and it was thin steel. And I just think the industry needs to start having some sort of regulations in place around 21s. I'm not saying ban them, because they are
scary though. Like, I do find them really intimidating. And even once you've stood them up,
you've then got to learn how to get them down, and that's the hardest part, because it fucking hits your shoulder and it puts it and it hurts you. Do you know what I mean?
I ended up getting frustrated with it.
Yeah, it's physically dangerous, to be fair. And you see a lot of lads struggle with it. And that's, if I'm watching a lad do it and they're struggling like fuck, I'm like, well, I'm not going to be able to do it.
No.
And I get there is some women out there who probably are stronger, like go to the gym and lift weights and stuff, and probably physically have got that advantage, but it'll take a hell of a lot of building up. Do you know what I mean?
And then my fear, which, like, I know it shouldn't be, like, I don't want to be too, like, big and like, because I don't want to come across manly, because I am still a female, and I don't want that to change all because the job I'm in, like, I'm still girly and I still am a bit feminine, so it's like, I don't want to change that and be all muscly and be like, all right lads, like, you know what I mean, I'm not like that, so I don't want to change and have to build up loads of muscles just to do along.
Exactly, because like you say, it's the only thing that you really struggle with. And I mean, I've mentioned in mine that even a thick 16 is really heavy as well. Not on par with a 21. I can still handle the 16s pretty much no problem until it comes to a high hem out. Or puncheons on a beam, do you know what I mean? Like then it's a little bit dodgy, but I'm usually all right as long as I set myself up properly and cover how I'm going to make it easier. But even then, do you know what I mean? And it's like you say, everything else is pretty manageable, I think. Even as a woman who doesn't train, I do train a little bit, but I'm not like, I don't do Olympic weightlifting, and there's a lot of lasses in the gym put me to shame. Do you know what I mean? And I look and think, well, you know, if I'm chucking scaffold tubes about, you would have no bother doing it. You know what I mean? Because you're like shoulder pressing 10 kilos per arm more than me.
But it's also about technique and balance and not the strength.
But they can't just pick one up and flip a 21. No, they need practice, they need shown. So, and I do think that is the only thing holding back. There is some other things that are heavier out there. So we use, do you know, like the beams that you would use? Or like aluminium normally, aren't they?
You've got.
We use the steel ones a lot of the time, and they're heavy as fuck. So like a 16 one of them is probably, I think they're about 50 kilos, if not more. Like you're meant to have 2 person to a beam. Do you know what I mean? And like they are, but then again, manual handling rules will say you need 2. So I think it's 3 people to a 21.
Is it? I never knew that.
You know,
I never knew that.
Yeah, it was on this manual handling list a while ago. It was a 13-foot beam. I think is 40 something kilo, and that's like 2/3 of my body weight. You know what I mean? It's mental. So there's definitely some, but they're very like, you don't use them very often.
My dad's got a few in his yard, and he got one out. I can't remember why we were using it, but he told one of the labourers to hold it. This labourer, he is quite small and just like quite small and tiny, bless her. He did like a little spin. It looked like he was dancing with it. So it was so heavy he couldn't move with it. It was like,
he didn't just drop it. He just kept going.
It just like kind of spun with it, because I don't think he was expecting the weight. But I even gave it a go, and I was just like, oh my God, I'm glad we got the alley ones. Like,
but I just think there's not much out there that is really restrictive weight-wise. You know, your 16s and your 21s. But even then, I think the 16s are pretty manageable if you're using them every day. It's just literally the 21s in terms of weight, isn't it? And a lot of guys that I know that have worked offshore for like 20 years, they wouldn't go back and use 21s and call it on the beach, because we work off. So it's like on land, we call it on the beach. They wouldn't work, on land with 21s anymore. So I would say, like, to the other lasses, if that's getting you down, just fucking drop it, because it did with me for a long time as well. Comments, you're not a proper scaff if you can't flip a 21, and it's like, fuck off, man. Look at everything else. Do you know what I mean? Like,
one thing, and you can't appreciate everything else.
Yeah, we're building scaffolds without 21s offshore for like forever, since forever. I think they might have had them a while ago, actually, so that might be lies, but there is so many ways to do it. And there's like not one scaffolder has fucking everything. The technical knowledge, the ability to stay calm, the ability to communicate really well and work well in a squad, as well as be totally strong and, do you know what I mean? And do all of that physical side of things, throw fucking steel beams around. There's not really, do you know what I mean? So I definitely think, like, there's so much available in the industry of scaffolding for women. Like, if we can avoid the 21s, then fair dues. I think a lot more employers who are wanting to take on women really need to consider that.
Well, even like everything else, like, that is the one issue I've got is 21s, but everyone knows, like, I am pretty much good at everything else. Don't get me wrong, I am a bit scared of heights, but I'll still give it my all, even if my legs are shaking. But it's just that. But
I'm pretty sure that'll go with time. Like, at the end, if you were that scared, you wouldn't be doing it. It's all right to feel a little bit of fear. Do you know what I mean? Like, sometimes when we're on a job, if we're going on an outboard job, I'm not so bad now, but there's been times when it's the first time doing something, for example, first time going down a dropper, I remember proper hyping it up in my head. I just couldn't get my head around it. I was like, I need to go and practice I need to go to a pole dancing studio and practice. Honestly, I was just like, I can't just go and do that, because the lads made it sound so scary. And they were like, oh, not many lads will get on a dropper. I've seen people like freak out and freeze on a dropper, and a lot of people just refuse. So that mentally really sets you back a bit, because you think, well, if they're scared, then I should be scared. And then doing it, the fucking adrenaline is mad. But if anything, that adrenaline kind of keeps you anchored and keeps you safe, because you're a bit more hyper alert. So it keeps you safe, but then it also puts you in this mad mood where you just start fucking singing and dancing and fucking pulling yourself upside down on the tubes and stuff, because it's like, it's that hyperactivity, but it kind of keeps you going, doesn't it? Do you know what I mean? And that will eventually, you'll get to a stage where you just don't feel it as much anymore until you do something for the first time. What's like the biggest job you think you've been on there so far?
Well, like I said, I'm not the confidentest on like my tools and everything, but like I've done like quite a few jobs and like been on them and labouring for them and gone up and still had a look on the scaffold. So I'm not too sure, but we've done like big ones, like on flats and everything, and I've gone up to the top. Even if I hadn't scaffolded it, I've still gone up and like been labouring and chaining and everything. So
still really good experience.
I can't really say off the top of my head, because we've done so many different ones where it's been like, we've done churches, like for the church bells, so that's big jobs, and then there's like flats which are just like tall and high, so it's like literally a bit of everything. So I don't really know off the top of my head.
Probably the same as well. Like, I can't remember all the ones I've been on, but it's not that many. Do you know what I mean? Done a little stint down London and was on some sort of bigger jobs down there, but since offshore, a lot of them are smaller. But it just takes a while to get used to that height. I remember the first one I went on in the town centre, which was maybe about 7 lifts. And I remember going up the top and feeling a bit, I mean, it was all handrailed and it was fine, but once we started stripping it and taking the handrail out, well, back then, we didn't really follow safety guidelines as much as we should have. We'd have just always whipped the handrail off and just, start putting the boards down. And I remember that feeling, that was maybe the first time I felt a little bit shaky at height. Do you know what I mean? But I just clip on and I just instantly can move around a bit better. Do you know what I mean? But I think now, like, with NASC and things like that and the enforcement of safety in scaffolding, you should never really feel in that position to feel unsafe. You should always be on a boarded lift or behind a handrail or clipped on. Do you know what I mean? And I think if you're working safely, you won't have that barrier as much. And I think as women, we'll probably have that bit more. I mean, don't get us wrong, we've got a fucking screw loose, like. Definitely got a screw loose, and I haven't always done everything by the book. Especially in the early days, just to impress people. Just to fucking impress people and be one of the lads.
Just to be fair.
But then now, it's took years to get the confidence to do things how I want to do it, you know, and work more. I work more efficiently when I'm working safer.
Yeah.
If I'm trying to cut corners, I'm just making mistakes.
Yeah, because you're worrying as well, because you're like, oh, this isn't the safest way of doing this, and just
and definitely more vigilant now, but in a comfortable way. If that makes sense.
Yeah, and was it also like quite hard? Because I guess with some jobs, the lads were probably like, we need to get this done, we need to get it down. So you were just rushing to get it down and done quickly.
I even say now, if someone wants a job done fucking super quick for like a job and knock.
Yeah.
Well, if you want it done that quick, you do it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because there's nothing worse than someone stood there telling me to hurry up.
Yeah.
It really triggers me.
Yeah.
Really, really does. Whether I'm putting up or taking down, I'm just like, I can't fucking stand it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because all it takes is that one little rash movement, and you drop something or you kick something off. Do you know what I mean? Or you're working on an end and you whip the handrail out, and then you stood on a trap end because the boards were longer than the lift, and you don't, just anything can go wrong at any moment. And people will always say like, oh, it'll never happen, but then that's what everyone who's ever fell off the scaffolding thought the same thing.
Yeah, there's only
they
one
didn't see it coming,
move,
did they?
Yeah.
So it's just mad.
Have you ever had any bad like accidents or
no.
Lucky?
No.
I've had a tube to the face.
Have you?
Yeah, only a bar, luckily, by my dad by accident.
Oh,
yeah,
your
typical.
Dad as well.
You might be able to see the scar a touch. It's
tiny,
like my makeup, and a bit on my. We were gossiping round the corner, like just having a little chit chat. He thought I had the tube. I didn't say mine. He let go, and it just straight in the face before Christmas.
Oh my God.
It was all right. I'm grateful it was, but it still hurt. It was just the panic. I still had the butts on my shoulder, and he was like, take them off. Like, he jumped off the scaffold and was
just stood like that.
I was just crying with my eye. I was like, have I lost my eye? I was like, I didn't know, because I had just been smacked in the face.
Do you know what? I've just reminded us of one thing I did, and it wasn't like anyone else. I thought I'd knocked my tooth out.
Oh yeah, how did you?
So I was working inside. It was on a new build site, and we were building like a big crash mat on the inside. So the lift was like about up there.
Yeah.
And I'd done something. I swung round to put the tranny over the lift, and I didn't realise how close I was to the ledger, and I went ding, and I walked into it, but it went straight on my tooth.
Oh God.
But it was like, it just happened at once. I went like that, ding, and it went like, and I was like that, and I was so scared, and I was working with this bloke Davey, and I was going, and he was going, you need to show us, and I was going, no, because I honestly thought my tooth was out.
Yeah.
It did chip, like,
yeah,
and I had to get it like all done. It was completely like in half at the front.
And you said you hadn't had no accident.
I forgot about that. It was years ago.
God.
This was probably when I first went back on the tools, actually. But you know, just thinking of like working on the jobs and that, I've never touched wood.
Yeah,
fucking hell, let's not jinx ourselves. But like, I've never dropped any tubes. I've never hurt anybody else. And I've never had a fall or hurt myself. God, I feel awful saying it out loud. I do feel like a jinx. But and I've never seen anyone have a really bad accident. Years ago, I've seen people fall off, but it's only been from one lift, and it was when we used to use the system. So what we used to do sometimes was stand like close to the standard, hoy the ledger over, and it, rather than, because it doesn't clip straight in, you've got to go to the other end, but there wouldn't be any boards in. Yeah. And the lads used to love working without boards. So then you would sort of shimmy across and get the other end. And I've seen a couple of times lads shimmying across and it's come loose. Yeah. And they've like swung round and then luckily just dropped, but like no actual proper injuries. So.
Yeah. I've seen like one guy, I think it was like 2 lifts, it wasn't like ridiculously high, but he was like walking across the board and he's like fell through the boards, but luckily he caught himself in the next lift, like caught in the yeah.
Must have knocked.
But he played it off cool, so he was all right. But yeah, other than that, like touch wood, like I hadn't seen nothing. I've seen my dad break his hand with a bone at work. That was not very. So basically, with bones, when you take out like one standard, sometimes where they're done up on the ledger, sometimes they can swing down, like sort of thing. Once the standards are out, they can just swing, and that happened to like my dad, and it swung and hit him on the knuckle, and he literally broke his hand.
Oh Christ!
Yeah, that was the same week as the tube incident.
Oh God! Oh, how did that not put you off?
I don't know. It was just a bad week for both of us.
It's still a good track record for being like 4 years in the industry now. Do you know what I mean? It just goes to show that, you know, you're working safely, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So that's the thing as well. People want to fucking slag you for not using 21s. It's like, however, man.
Yeah,
You know,
but then you hear stuff.
At least I've never hurt anyone or done anything wrong.
Yeah.
No scaffolds ever fell down. Do you know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
I think sometimes people just have this opinion that you maybe's not tightening everything up properly, or you know what I mean? You just can't, like, that you wouldn't trust a lass doing it.
Yeah.
But, you know, the record says it, really.
To be fair, like, I always second guess myself with stuff like that. Whenever I have to use my spanner instead of the drill, I'm always like, do you want to do one, like, just in case I ain't done it?
Yeah.
But then it is always tight enough that I'm like, oh, I didn't even need to ask you to do but like, I'm just always like, oh, maybe they could push it a bit more than I can, sort of thing, but to make sure it's tight.
We use spanners all the time. Offshore, we can't use the drills, so I do find it takes a little bit longer. I'm always giving it that. I've got to give it the extra half turn because I just haven't got the strength in the first wrap, if that makes sense. So I'll give it another half a one.
Yeah.
But someone told us, like, so they went on a course and it was to do with the impact wrenches. And do you know when it's tightened up, they call it the torque?
Yeah.
Like the torque of it, which means like the load that it can hold, the torque. And they'd done a test on that, so they said to somebody, tighten that up how you would normally tighten it. So they used a spanner and they tightened it. And then they put this tester on it and they were like, it's far too tight. Give it 2 half turns. Like, you're only meant to tighten it and then give it 1 half turn and that's it. Yeah. But sometimes I'm like, fuck, you know, do you know what I mean? And I'm like, and then I kind of get my own off, and I've been told off for tightening it too much. Yeah. But like you say, you are a little bit worried, aren't you, that you're not tightening it as much. Yeah. And then sometimes I find I'll get wrong for tightening it too much, right? The lads will be like, it's coming down the mirror, man, what you're tightening it that much for? But then someone else might come and strip it and they'll go like, oh, you didn't tighten it up properly. Do you know what I mean? But like, it's never I've never put a scaffold up where it's slipped, anything's slipped or anything's come loose or anything's fucking fell out. So I think we're all right. Yeah, I think that's definitely just self-doubt. Do you know what I mean? Have you ever worked with another woman?
Not a scaffolder, but I mentioned to you.
I mean, in scaffold, I mean, but like,
I was very lucky that, like, my friend actually came and worked with me for a bit, which, God, you would wish that if your best friend would come and work with you. 100%. So she came, it must have been like 3-4 months, and that was probably the best time I ever had at work, so I absolutely loved it. So it was nice to actually see another female try it, because like I said to you, I had been comparing myself to the lads for so long that to actually see and be like, oh my God, she's struggling, I did struggle at that. But and where the lads would like be like, oh, come on, I can do that, like, sort of thing. It was kind of nice to see, like, oh, it wasn't just me. And like, it was really nice because she like loved it, but it was just a shame, like, medical reasons she had to leave. Hopefully maybe things change and she can come back again eventually, because she's always said if she could do anything she would want to come back to this sort of thing. But yeah, I was lucky enough to work with my best mate, which lush, it was lush, and it was lovely. And she listened, like, she really wanted to learn the trade, but obviously things got in the way of that.
Oh, but shame. But she might bounce back, you know.
Yeah, you never know.
You never know. And do you think your sisters might get into it then?
It's quite a shame, really.
How many sisters do you have?
I've got 3 sisters. I had my little sister come in for a day, and she wants to come back when she's off school.
They're
think
going to grow up soon enough and want to do what they want to do.
Exactly.
So that influence will be gone.
That's exactly what I said. I was like, I get what your mum's saying, because it is a dangerous job, and also there is things that could make you more money and everything, but I just think if it's something you want to do and you enjoy it, then why not? Because that's exactly what I did, and I always tell my sisters, you be whatever you want to be.
100%.
Like, it don't matter what you do.
And you're living proof of that, aren't you? You're a really good role model for them.
I hope so. I do try to be, and like I had Sydney come in over Christmas, which she hated because it was snowing and everything, and she was a bit chilly. She worked at the yard with me.
To get someone in.
Yeah, but she was silly. She didn't tell me she wore Crocs. So I was like, your feet are obviously going to be freezing. It's snowing and you're wearing Crocs. So I had to put dog poo bags on her while she was painting the fittings at the yard, like, to keep her feet warm, like put them in poo bags to keep them nice and warm for her. And then Rhea, she came in, which is one of my twin sisters, and she came in for a day off school because the other sister couldn't because she broke her arm. So she couldn't come in to work with us, otherwise she would have come as well. And she absolutely loved it. Like, she was just like, oh, like, she wore her hair matching as me. Like, she just loved it. And it was really sweet to see, because you don't realise, like, what an inspiration you are when they actually come and do it with you. And it was really nice. Like, I hope they do get into it. I really do. It's just like what they told me. It don't really seem like their mum would want that. But at the end of the day, you can't pick your futures. You just kind of go with it, innit? And the parents can't pick. Like, I just think do what you want.
Yeah, there's plenty time anyway, isn't there, for things to change and for her to change her opinion maybe. But even if not, they're going to grow up and want to do their own thing.
Yeah.
And you know what? It's not such a dead end job that everyone thinks. It's just not. There's so many doors. I mean, look at design engineers, how much money they're on.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Or working offshore, Hinkley Point, they're making good money on there. There's so many.
There's so many different types of jobs. You can judge any job.
Yeah.
You could, like, look, bin men have to pick up bins. Like, everyone's got to do a job. Like, otherwise these jobs wouldn't be done. So why are you judging? Like, everyone's got to do their part. It don't matter what you do. As long as you're earning, you're happy with what you're doing. That's all that matters.
And do you know what? There's also the benefits of, like, the physical fitness side of it as well. Do you know, it's good for your body.
Yeah.
Some people will argue that and say the strain on your body's not good, but if you're carrying a load, like, you're not trying to show off carrying fucking 713 footballs or whatever. Do you know what I mean? As long as you're carrying, like, what you can, it's going to be good for your body.
Yeah.
You know, lifting and moving your body all day long is really good for your bone density, for your muscle mass. It's an all-rounder, really. And I mean, look at some of the scaps. Some of the blokes I work with are, like, past retirement age and they're still fit as fuck.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So it's a good job in that sense as well.
Yeah.
And women are using their bodies a hell of a lot more now. You know, we've proved the point now that we're, like, doing physical things as well through sport. Look at women's boxing, the women's fighting, and, you know, like the Olympics and all that. Like, women love to move their bodies. We love dancing. I was saying that earlier. We love dancing in a boogie. Like, and what you're doing is you're moving all day long. And what I really like about it is, like, you're moving and you're laughing.
Yeah.
And you're just having such a good laugh. I mean, as long as you're working with the right people.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But then your shift finishes, you take your belt off, your harness off, and you're done. You've got no stress to think about.
No. Yeah.
You know, you haven't got that mental stress.
No.
I think sometimes with us, and hopefully this will phase out the more women that come into it, the mental stress is the comparison. It's the, you know, feeling like, am I worth what I'm getting paid? Am I worth being here? Because of the comparison to men. Yeah. But the more women that come into it, that will lower. Do you know what I mean? So that mental strain should hopefully not be there anymore. Because I think other than that, there's nothing else to get stressed about in scaffolding, really. Unless you're not getting on with the person you work with. And that can happen in any fucking industry.
It could be any job.
In any industry. Especially the beauty industry.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I don't know. It was just like, you know, one of them environments where you just feel like everyone's just judging you. And like, I don't know, I just thought like I just wasn't meant to be here sort of thing. And unfortunately, my first client was my mum. And clearly she did not like her nails because I dropped out that day. Because she was like, could you do a bit better? And I was thinking, I'm trying my best right now. She did not like her nails. But I was just like, I was not good at them, to be fair. Like, I was trying, but I was in college and I was like, you know what? I think this is my last day. I was like, this isn't for me. If my mum don't even like the nails, I was like, I don't think I'm going to be a nail tech anytime soon.
Well, good on you for sticking the finger up with it, because a lot of people just stick things because they think they're meant to, don't they? And I think, you know, hats off to anyone who goes, this isn't for me, and takes the risk, because it is a massive risk. Yeah. Going into scaffolding is a fucking huge risk.
My dad, he's always taught me, like, yes, if you can stay in school, because that is the best thing to do. But grades don't define you. They don't. You could do anything with your life, like, as long as you try your best, because he was like naughty in school, and then I think he started scaffolding around 13, and it's like he didn't have the qualifications and stuff, but he built it up and did all this, and now he's got a company. Like, they don't define you. You can do whatever you want, 100%. But obviously school is the better option, but it ain't always got to be that option sort of thing.
But you know what, we don't know what way school's going now, because with fucking AI coming out and taking a lot of jobs that a lot of people are like in college studying for right now. Like, what do you do? Do you know what I mean? And if anything's going to stay, it's the physical manual jobs. What we do?
No robots are going to be putting up scaffolding.
Exactly. So
I hope not. That'd be all right, wouldn't it? If they could see them flip a 21.
I know. Well, I bet you they can't. So what do you think? Like, what's your long-term goal in terms of, like, scaffolding career, or do you think it's something you want to do for a long time? Yeah. Do you want to, take it as far as you can, or?
Well, I would love to obviously get my part 2, so then I'm qualified, maybe reach for an advance, because it's always, like we had the conversation with my dad, like it's always good to have as much skill as you can, so 100%. No one can second guess your opinions. But I would love to do that. Maybe, like, it does seem like a lot of stress, like I've seen it firsthand because of my dad and everything, but I would love to help with his company and everything. So yeah, I would love to do that and maybe help him with the company eventually, but who knows. I'm just happy doing what I'm doing at the moment.
Yeah, things can change any minute, can't they? So looking too far ahead sometimes is like...
It's just scary, isn't it? Like, you don't know where you're going to be in 10 years, but I hope I'm somewhere good. So
yeah, you will be. And hopefully it's still a family business as well, because I think that's lush.
And hopefully maybe my sisters will join. And if not, they can come in on the weekends and give us a hand.
Exactly.
Like, they ain't got work there
cash in hand. Yeah, goes a long way. So what would your advice be to your younger sisters? If one of them come to you now and was like, right, that's it, I'm going to start scaffolding. So like, you know, not take the biased side that she's your sister, but to any lass, to any woman wanting to do this, but you know, just visualise your sister, someone coming. What would you
had to do it with my friend, didn't I? So I don't really know. I just I kind of just said, like, when it was her, I was like, do not take anything to heart, because it's all banter at the end of the day. People snap, they get frustrated. By the end of the day, when you're in the van on the way back, you're fine. Like, because you do just snap at some points, being like, oh, like you said, oh, for fuck's sake, sort of thing, innit? But like, you just got to take it on the chest, like, and just not take it personal.
Not overthink it as much.
Yeah,
that's one good thing with lads, is the kind of, it just gets in the bud. You might have a little argument on the job, but then it's fucking done with, isn't it? That's it.
But as females, we tend to overthink that whole situation, and it's
what
like,
led to that? Why did I think that all the time?
Yeah, so I just said stuff like that, like, don't take anything too personal, be able to have a joke, like, and just enjoy yourself, but also stand your ground, like, because it's all good, like, listening to advice and stuff, but if you don't always agree with what the person is saying, like, you can say that as well. Like you said, you had to, like, have a voice to be listened to. So I don't really know.
Sometimes you get scared to speak up because you feel like you're going to be seen as a pain in the arse, but if you don't speak up, nothing changes. You know, and I've just found, similarly, like, you've just got to say how you're feeling and do it, like, pretty quick. You know, that would be my, like, if I could go back and change something about myself, I would just say something straight away, rip the plaster off, and it usually gets dealt with pretty quick. Do you know what I mean? And just stop fucking, and then let it go. Let it go. That's like such good advice, because like overthinking is a killer, and it just holds you back and makes you doubt yourself. When most of the time no one's thinking about it, no one else is thinking about it for you.
But I got to say, like, it must have been a lot. Like, I am very blessed because I got to work with my dad, but for you, like, coming on, being able to just join the job by yourself, like, that is incredible, and you should really be proud of yourself, because that is crazy. You went into this alone. I did not. Like, I was lucky enough to have my dad, but that is, like, it's scary. And I was scared with, like, even going into my dad's company, so I could not imagine for you. Like, it is incredible.
It was back in the day. It was mad. I think there was a lot of just adrenaline and a lot of, whoa, this is so new. But it was a lot worse back then. And then luckily when I went on the tours the second time, I was seeing a scaffolder, and he come to London with me and helped. So I kind of wasn't completely on my own. So that did really help. So I do get that, like, having someone there just who you trust does really help. And I'm sure there's a couple of lasses in the group chat actually who work with their boyfriends. Did you see? So
it does look lovely.
Hear about that. But it is a huge risk, and it's scary stepping into it. But what I have found is 99% if the men will make you feel comfortable within the first hour, 2 hours. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
They really are, you know, hats off to them for how gentle they can be until they realise you're comfortable, and then the banter comes out. And the next thing you know, like, anything you've got wrong with you just getting totally ripped about it.
It's all right.
That means they like you.
But then you got to insult them a little bit. The more someone rips you, the
more they like you.
Exactly.
I've had to learn that, like, you've got to have thick skin. I think that's it.
Well, thank you for inviting me. Like, I really appreciate this opportunity. Like, and I hope it goes well. And I can't wait to see every other like person's journey and like with their scaffolding.
Oh, thank you so much. Like, it's just to have this moment after having it in my head for so long, means so fucking much. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm just so excited for everything else. It's so refreshing to
Yeah.
hear some similarities. And it's like, it really validates my own experience, like you say. So thank you so much for taking your time out as well.
Of
Do you know what I mean?
course, this is an incredible thing you're doing.
In your free time, and what you're doing, what we're sat here doing now is hopefully going to help somebody else.
I hope so.
That's the whole point in it, isn't it?
Yeah. And just to get everyone's stories out, and hopefully more females will get involved.
Yeah,
so.
yeah, 100%. And feel less alone in the process as well.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
No problem. Thank you.
Coming up on the next episode.
They were like, do you know what, Georgia? You're strong. You're not stopped all day. Do you want to come and get a shot scaffolding for a company, like I said, out in Buxton? So at first I was a bit sceptical. I was like, what, me? Scaffolding? Come on. And they were like, no, come on, let's get you at it. So I ended up going into I think I was the first person that had an interview scaffolding.
Right.
So it was unheard of, this.
In the yard?
Yeah, so practicing standing long at first. At the first time I ever tried to stand one, actually, I did it. And then I couldn't lower it. I couldn't lower it, with hearing it there. The first time.
I bet you're the last one.
To be fair, there were only a couple of yard lads in there, but they were like, no, where have you got her from? You know what I mean? Where's she come from?
It's made me wonder, would that speed difference even be there then? Do you know what I mean? If I wasn't on the spanner, probably not.
Probably not. Because I'm quite comfortable with a spanner.
Yeah.
I've got the wrist action.
Yeah, I'm really good with my wrists as well. It's definitely strengthened them scaffolding, so I've been told anyway.
That's it. Forearms for it.
If you've got one big arm, you know what I mean? And those bigger steps, those most fearful ones, they have the most growth.
They do,
you know,
and that's it. And I've literally gone from strength, in the sense by doing what I've done, I've gone from strength to strength, and I've done it by myself in a way, and I'm proud of that. It is having that confidence and that, that bit of something. That's just, you got to have something about you. Take that leap, and when it feels scary,
balls in it. It's metaphorical balls. That's one thing I get told all the time. You've got some balls on you. Do you know what I mean? For a lass, I'm I know. But it's got as far. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I love it.
I might not be the strongest and the fastest, but I'm brave as fuck. You know what I mean? I just love doing things. I'll have a bit of adrenaline as well. Do you know what I mean?
That's
the best banter.
Banter's key. Banter's a big thing. Like you said, job's hard enough. All you working with, you don't need to make it any harder for them. You get on. You've got banter, and crack on.
If you enjoy your job,